Hello, I'm Joshua. This is day 51 of my visual journey. So today, uh, I watched two videos, T-trades. So I watched fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps video. So fair value gap, it's pretty simple. I already knew what a fair value gap is, but I learned something new in that video. So fair value gap, I'm sure I can find it right here. Boom. This is an imbalance in the market. Uh, so this is just sell side imbalance. There's no sell orders in this right here. As you can see, prices is going straight up. There's no sell side being offered. So right here, you create a fair value gap. Just buying, just lots of buy orders, and the price usually goes in and what is it called? Bounces off of it pretty much. And I also learned that inverse fair value gap, which is this would be, or actually no, I'm gonna go over the first thing. I learned about uh, consequent encroachment. So it's basically the half of the fair value gap. So if I go to like a valid fair value gap, if I can find one that has actually been validated, this one right here. So boom, we have this fair value gap, and the consequent encroachment is basically the 50%. So if the if price drops back down into the fair value gap, it could go all the way like above right here, as long as it closes what is it called, above the consequent encroachment, like the 50, the half mark. So as long as it closes above this, then it's most likely gonna continue going up. But if it either closes below it or all the way outside of the fair value gap, then that's a inverse fair value gap, and it's most likely gonna, what is it called, be invalidated, and price might start reversing. So that's also what I learned from that video. Actually, pretty helpful. I am not gonna lie, that seems like a really useful piece of information, and I'll start using it too. So right here, you mark it out again. Boom for value gap. This one got closed. This would be an inverse for value gap, but we don't go like all the way below. As you can see right here, we close below the fair value gap, but I'm just not gonna bother with this one. We'll find another example just to show it. Uh, I guess this account. Yeah, sometimes fair value gaps, the 1 minute fair value gaps are a little weird because most of the time when a fair value gap gets created on the 1 minute, there's usually like when it's like a lot of candles in a row, there's usually a high time frame fair value gap. Oh, we just hit a fair value gap just now actually. Boom, and let's see the 50% mark on that fair value gap. So let's move it a little lower. So did not have. Boom. And as you can see, we closed above the fair value gap, and wait, no. When we're when it's a positive, we have to close above it, not below. I'm stupid. So we went below the encroachment, but we continue going. The price is moving down. We're not gonna continue going up. That's just what I believe. And I also learned about fair value. Inverse fair value gaps. So inverse fair value gap is an invalidated fair value gap. As you can see, we have one right here, and they usually mean a reversal in the market is gonna happen soon. So right here, as you can see, liquidity sweep somewhere. Swept some kind of liquidity, as you can see. That's the main reason why it probably started reversing. But we have this, what is it called? Invalidated fair value gap. It's usually used more as like a confluence to like actually tell if price is gonna actually reverse. So right here, got invalidated down here, closed below the fair value gap. So it's basically used as a confluence and like what is it called, to see if price is like reversing pretty much. So if I mark the consequent encroachment right here, it's usually used as a mark to bounce off of it pretty much. So as you can see, closed below it, moved in a little bit a few times, just tapped into it. So if we go and bounce off the consequent encroachment, that could be used as an entry also. So that's basically what I learned, inverse fair value gaps. So today I'll just go over and see how price is moving for this week. So my, what is it called? Bias was that for the daily, the draw on liquidity was going to be this right here for the week, not the daily, for the whole week. My, it might take a week or two, honestly, because the way it's moving, it's most likely not gonna keep going. So let me get my bias real quick for the next few days. So boom, we have this high right here. We swept it, did not close above, and we closed bearish. So that means that price is going to continue going down. So right here, you created a fair value gap, a small fair value gap. That one could get respected if it closes above this one tomorrow. Because I'm not going to be taking trades for a little bit. I'm just going to continue watching and seeing how the price actually moves pretty much. So we have this fair value gap on the daily, and I'm pretty sure there was one on the weekly. Yeah, there's this one on the weekly. It is. If it gets hit, then like that is some crazy. It's like 100% gonna go up and take this right here, this weekly high right here. So that's the fair value gap for the weekly. It recreated a new one right here, or we're gonna be creating a new one soon. Unless it goes back into this one, which I think it might be. Well, I'm gonna just stick to the daily. I don't really confuse myself like I usually do. Started thinking outside, like using all these random fair value gaps. So I'm gonna just stick to the daily. So we have this fair value gap right here. That might be getting hit into. So since we closed above, since we went above this high right here and closed below it, I am thinking, oh, we already took this low right here. Okay. Well, since we took this low, for the next day, I'm thinking it's gonna continue down here. But this is for this day, I think. Yeah, this is for today. So this is today's what's it called? Or the next days, because this is already what's it called? Tuesday today. I'm making this video for the day. So this is Tuesday's candle right here, or what's it called? Australia or London session right now. We're in London session. Yeah. So boom. If it depends, if it closes above while we took this, then my bias is gonna be like the high again. But if it closes below and displaces below this low right here, then my bias is gonna stay bearish until this fair value gap. I genuinely think it's gonna continue bearish for a while before, because I feel like every time price gets towards like a draw on liquidity, it slows down a little bit. It's like a fair value gap or something, and bounces off to it to sweep liquidity. Like that's something I always notice for some reason. I feel like that's just common occurrence. Or is this offering? What it's called? South side. Because there's an imbalance right there. That's basically my bias for now. I think it's gonna continue down, hit this fair value gap, and go up and take this high, and then probably reverse or keep going higher. You never know. So that's basically it for today. Thank you for listening.